In this video, I will be teaching you about direct variation, inverse variation, and combined variation. And we'll start right now. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm wearing glasses, can you see? This is because I want to see whether you are focused in my class or not. Are you ready? Let's go! What is direct variation? Direct variation explains the relation between two variables such that when variable y increases, then variable x also increases at the same rate and vice versa. This relation can be written as y varies directly as x. The formula for direct variation is y with a proportional symbol x, and this is called variation relation. And then we have to change it into equation form, which is y equals to kx, where k is a constant. Direct variation can also take other forms like y varies directly as x squared, or y varies directly as x cubed, or y varies directly as x to the power of half. Let's look at the graph of direct variation. If y varies directly as x, and therefore y is equal to kx, then graph of y against x is a straight line through the origin and with k as the slope. Graph A and graph B show that when x increases, y also increases. The gradient of graph A is greater than the gradient of graph B. Hence, the k in graph A is greater than the k in graph B. Let's look at graph C and graph D. So graph C and graph D show that when x decreases, y also decreases. The gradient of the graph D is greater than the gradient of graph C. Hence, the k in graph D is greater than the k in graph C. Now let's look at the example of graph of direct variation. So a cyclist progressed over a journey of 120 kilometers is recorded. The results are tabulated below and plotted on the graph. So the distance traveled in kilometers, D, is 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 and 120. So this one is in the y-axis. Okay, whereas the time taken in hours, T, is in the x-axis. So now we plot the graph, okay? So 21, so it will be here. Okay, or we call it 120, and then 240, and 360, and then 480, and then 5 is 100, and 6 is 120. Then when we join all the points together, we will get a straight line. So we get a straight line here. Okay? So any corresponding value taken from the table can be written as a ratio. Okay, that is D over T. So we find the ratio for each one. So 20 over 1 is 20. 40 over 2 is 20. 60 over 3 is 20. 80 over 4 is 20. 100 over 5 is 20. 120 over 6 is 20. Okay, it means that it is constant of variation. So the graph D against T is a straight line and it passing through the origin. And the value of D increases as the value of T increases too. So in this case, D is directly proportional, directly proportional to T, or D varies directly as T, okay? And this is written as D and then proportional symbol T. Let's look at question number 1. This is direct variation. It is given that P is equal to 32 when Q is equal to 4. Express P in terms of Q if A, P varies directly as Q cubed, and B, P varies directly as the square root of Q. Okay, now let's solve for A first. So P varies directly as Q cubed. So we write in this form. Okay, after that, we're going to change it into equation form. So equals to, remember to multiply by a constant K. So Q cubed. Okay, after that, we're going to sub the values of P and Q into this step. So P is 32 equals to K, and then Q is 4. So 4 cubed. So we know that 4 cubed is 4 times 4 times 4 equals to 64. So it becomes 64K. Okay, and this is 32. So K will be 32 divided by 64, which is 0.5. After that, we're going to substitute this into step 2 here. So we'll get an equation which is P equals to 0.5 Q cubed. That's the answer for A. Now let's solve for B. So P varies directly as square root of Q. Okay, then after that, we're going to change this into equation form, which is P equals to K square root of Q. So P is 32, and then Q is 4. So square root of 4 is 2, so it becomes 2K, so this is 32. Okay, so to find K, 32 divided by 2 is 16. After that, we're going to sub this into step 2, and then we get an equation which is P equals to 16 square root of Q. And that's the answer for B. Let's look at question number 2. This is on direct variation. The table below shows the changes in 3 quantities. It is given that P varies directly as the cube of Q and R. Calculate the values of X and Y. So first, I'm going to look at the table. Okay, it's given P, Q, and R. I'm going to use this to find my K, which is the constant. So P varies directly as the cube of Q and R. Okay, so it means that P varies directly as the cube of Q and R. Okay, after that, we're going to change it into equation form. So we multiply by K. So K, Q cubed, and R. Okay, then after that, I'm going to substitute the values of P, Q, and R for us to find K. So P is 86.4 equals to K. So Q is 1.2 cubed, and then R is 10. Okay, so we use the calculator. Let's calculate this. So K, okay, 1.2 cubed, then times 10. Okay, take out the calculator. So calculate 1.2 and then cube. Okay, and then after that times 10. So we get 17.28. So we have 17.28 K. After that, we find K. So K is 86.4 divided by 70.28. So we get 5. Okay, so it's a whole number 5. After that, we're going to substitute this into step 2 to find our final equation. So therefore, P is equals to 5Q cubed R. Okay? So after that, we're going to use this equation to find the values of X and Y. So to find X, we're going to look here. Okay, we're going to substitute the values of Q and R, and then we'll get X. Okay, so I'm going to write down the equation again, which is P equals to 5Q cubed R. Okay, so P is X, and then 5, Q is 2, so 2 cubed, and R is 0.4. Okay, let's calculate this. So 5 times, so 2 cubed is 8, so times 8, then times 0.4, so we get 16. So therefore, the X is equals to 16. Okay, now we're going to find the Y value. So to find the value, okay, of Y, so I'm going to write back the same equation, and then I'm going to substitute the values of this. Okay, so P is 1.215 equals to, so 5, Q is Y, so Y cubed, and then R is 9. Okay, let's calculate this. So 1 on the right hand side is 45Y cubed, and on the left hand side, you just bring it down. Okay, so we're going to calculate this. 1.215 divided by 45, so we get a fraction, which is 27 over 1000. Okay, after that, to find Y, we're going to cube root 27 over 1000. So we get 3 over 10, which is equals to 0.3. So that will be the answer. What is inverse variation? Inverse variation can be defined as a type of variation where the increase in the value of one quantity will result in decrease of the other. The constant of variation can never be equal to 0, and it equals to the product of both the quantities. Inverse variation is in the form of y is equals to k over x, and xy is equals to k. For example, suppose we are going from city A to city B. If the speed of the car is 100 kilometers per hour and the number of hours needed to reach the destination is 4 hours. If the speed goes down to 80 kilometers per hour, means becomes slower, then it will take 5 hours to reach the destination, which is longer time to reach the destination. It means that the higher the speed, the lesser the time taken to reach the destination. Hence, the speed of the car varies inversely with the time taken to cover the distance. The formula for inverse variation is y with a proportional symbol 1 over x, and this is called variation relation. And then we have to change it into equation form, which is y equals to k over x, and this is called equation form. Okay, the inverse variation graph looks like a reciprocal graph like this, and it doesn't intersect with the x-axis and y-axis. Let's look at question number 3. This is on inverse variation. A company prints a certain number of books every day. The table below shows the number of printing machines in operation, M, and the time needed, T, to print the books. It is given that T varies inversely as M. Okay, A, express T in terms of M, and B, determine the values of P and Q. Okay, now let's solve for A first. So for A, express T in terms of M. So here it's stated here, T varies inversely as M, which means T varies inversely as M. And then after that, I'm going to change this into equation form, which is T is equals to K over M. And then after that, I'm going to substitute the values of M and T to find K. Okay, so T is 10, and then K is unknown, and M is equals to 6. So therefore, K is equals to 10 times 6 is 60. After that, I'm going to sub this into step 2. So T is equals to 60 over M. So that's the answer for A. Now let's solve for B. So determine the values of P and Q. So I'm going to use the equation that I've gotten just now in A to find my values. So now I'm going to substitute the values of M and T. Okay, so T is P and M is equals to 8. So 60 divided by 8 is equals to, okay, use the calculator. So 60 divided by 8 is equals to 7.5. Okay, so P is equals to 7.5. Okay, and then find the value of Q. So I'm going to sub this into the equation. Okay, so T is equals to 60 over M, and then T is equals to 4, and M is equals to Q. Okay, so Q is equals to 60 divided by 4, which is equals to 15. So that's the answer. What is a combined variation? A combined variation consists of direct variation and inverse variation. For a combined variation, y varies directly as x to the power of m and inversely as z to the power of n, and can be written as y with a proportional symbol x to the power of m over z to the power of n, and this is called variation relation. And then we have to change it into equation form, which is y equals to k x to the power of m over z to the power of n. Let's look at question number 4. This is on combined variation. Write the relation using the symbol, proportional symbol, and in equation form for each of the following. Okay, now let's solve for A. P varies directly as Q, so P varies directly as Q, and inversely as square root of R. And then we're going to change it into equation form, which is P equals to K, Q over square root R. Okay, that's the answer for A. Now let's solve for B. Okay, y varies directly as the square of W, so y varies directly as the square of W, and inversely as the cube of X. So after that, we're going to change it into equation form, which is y equals to K W square over X cube. So that's the answer for B. Now let's solve for C. The volume of a prism, V, varies directly as the area of the cross-section A and its height, H. So after that, we're going to change it into equation form, which is V equals to K A H. So that's the answer for C. Now let's solve for D. The mass W of a cylindrical metal rod varies directly, W varies directly as its length, and the square of the diameter of its base D, means D square. Okay, after that, we're going to change it into equation form, which is W equals to K P D square. And that's the answer. Let's look at question number 5. This is on combined variation. The table below shows the values of P, Q, and R. It is given that P varies directly as the cube of Q and inversely as R. Calculate the values of X and Y. Okay, so here is given P varies directly as the cube of Q and inversely as R, which means that P varies directly as the Q cube over R. and then we have to change it into equation form, which is P equals to KQ cubed over R. And then I'm going to substitute these values because these three values are known and we can find K. Okay, so P is 4 equals to K, and then Q is 2 cubed over R is 0.6. Okay, so this 0.6, I move it over to the left, become 2.4 equals to, and this will be 8K because 2 cubed is 8. So therefore, K is equals to, so 2.4 divided by 8 is 3 over 10. So 3 over 10, okay? Then I'm going to sub this into step 2 to find my equation, which is P equals to 3Q cubed over 10R. Okay? So once I got this, I can use this equation to find my X and Y. Okay? So to find my X and Y, I'm going to substitute these values to find X and these values to find Y. Okay? So let's solve this. So P is equals to 3Q cubed over 10R. So P is 3.6 equals to 3, Q is 6 cubed, then over 10, R is X. Okay? So let's solve this. So 10, move it over to the left, become 36. So 36x, okay, equals to, so 200, okay, 6 cubed is 216, then times 3, so we get 648. So 648. Okay, so to find x, I use 648 divided by 36, I get 18. Okay, so x is equals to 18. That's the answer. Okay, now we have to find the value of y. So I'm going to write back the same equation. And then I'm going to substitute the values of P, Q, and R. So P is here 0.081. So 0.081 equals to 3. Q is y. So y cubed over 10 times R is 2.7. Okay, so let's calculate this. 2.7 times 10 is 27 times 0.081. Okay, and after that we divide by 3, so we get 729 over 1000 equals to y cubed. Okay, so to find y, I'm going to cube root of 729 over 1000. So cube root of 729 is equals to 9, and cube root of 1000 is equals to 10. So therefore, y is equals to 9 over 10. And then when we change it into decimal, we'll get 0.9. And that is the answer. Well, that's all for now. Do you wish to see more videos like this? Let me know in the comments below. If you find this video useful, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos every single week. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you keep on learning, keep on practicing, and keep on watching my videos, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!